So I want to show you how to mat this frame here. Right, so you're going to cut your paper as if you were matting, okay? And I'm including the tab. So you're going to cut to size. So when I say cut your paper as if you were matting, you're going to cut your paper 1/4 of an inch smaller than the area you want to mat. So if the area you want to mat is a 4x6, you're going to cut your paper 1/4 of an inch smaller than that, which would be 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. So measure and cut your paper 1/4 of an inch smaller. You're going to use your template for your tab, right? So I did mine here. Got my template ready for my tab. And now I'm going to cut that out just so I have it cut out and I know which side I should be cutting at what size, because if not, Kathy gets easily confused. All right, so we're going to cut that out. And I like to cut anything with a straight edge or a straight line with a ruler so that I have a nice clean line. And I'll do that now. There. All right, so now I have my tab side. And now, let me just round this corner because I know it should be rounded right here. So round that. And now I can draw my frame. Okay, so I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to use it. So here is my mat, right? But we've got a window, so we want to cut our window out. So on the tab side, you're going to measure from the edge. You're going to measure, that's a 1/2 inch. You're going to measure on the non-tab side, you're going to measure 1/4 of an inch. Okay, 1/4 of an inch. So on all 3 sides that don't have the tab, 1/4 of an inch. Right here. So from the tab side, you're going to measure at 3 3/4 inches. All right, make sure you're nice and straight, like so. And now you're going to cut your frame out. Okay, so I'm going to do that with this ruler. Nice and even and nice and straight. Slow and steady wins the race, people. You want a nice frame. Okay, so cut that out. There you go. Carefully. Again, you want to be nice and straight. You don't want to try your best not to be crooked because it's going to show on this so quickly. The slightest bit of crooked, of unevenness that you have will show up right away. There will be no SVG file for this because I don't know if you're using a tab, if you're not using a tab, so it would just be too confusing. This is easy enough for you to do. Okay? So these are the papers I'm using. And there is your file folder mat. Let's see if I could get it right. There we go. It's absolutely perfectly sized for your file folder for this window here. You're going to do the same thing for the opposite side, but do not mat yet because I'm not sure if we're going to use that second sheet of acetate or not. All right, so you can feel free to glue this down if you want. We're not doing anything else to this. All right, and it looks so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, I will continue. All right, so now we're going to tackle this area right here. And I am going to unzoom my camera so you can see what we got going on here, guys. I want you to treat these panels here, D, E, and F, as one big panel, right? A layout, right? One page. I don't want you to treat it as individuals. If you treat it as an individual, you're going to get super choppiness okay? Or, hold on, just let me zoom out a minute. I can't do two things at the same time. All right, so zooming out. Let's see, zoom, that's in. Out, sister, out. Here we go. I think that's as good as it gets before I give you some boob shots over here. All right, we don't want to do that. All right, so I grabbed my scraps. Normally your scraps are in a pile, right? So what I like to do is when I'm using my scraps is to separate my scraps by color. All right, so there's all my greens. Here are all my printed scraps. All right, so printed paper goes in one section unless you have a bazillion of one paper. Okay, see that? But if you have a lot of random little pieces from different papers, then you put that in one little pile, right? You can put light colors together, but this has both red and the green, so I'm going to put it over here. This you may think, but I could do something really cute with this little cluster of mushrooms. So just make a pile however you want to make it, all right, where it makes sense to you, okay? That way you can easily grab things that you need. All right, so I made like a dark pile, then a lighter pile, and then, you know, scrap papers and all that. So these long pieces, I know I'm not going to use that long piece like that because everything is small here. Okay, I'm not going to cut them all in half, but you know. All right, so I've got all my pieces organized. That'll make my life a lot easier. And I'm going to treat this as one big old layout. Okay, one layout. And the reason for that is because there's a lot of small pieces here, small pockets and stuff, that I don't want my project to look too choppy. If you don't want to do this, my recommendation to you is to not use all sorts of crazy patterns all over the place. I mean, unless that's your style, right? Unless that's your style. I hate to be so opinionated because art is subjective, right? But for me, this is my advice to you. If you don't know what to do with this area here. By the way, I hate this blue color. It looked good when I paired it up with this one here, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling it right now. Anyway, no more complaints. So I'm going to take my bits and pieces and I'm going to set them up. All right, so I found this one for here and now I'm going to cut this down to size. Be careful when you have your project folded up because you don't want to crush any of your gussets. So just be aware of your gussets. You know, like if you're like me and you lay your trimmer on your project, just be careful. Okay. So there's that. I love this one for right here. You can have some fun with it if you want to and do like this half of fairy here or these flowers with the gate. And I think I like the flowers with the gate. So I'm going to use that. Let me measure this here so I can get that right. So remember, I'm going to use the flowers with the gate. Look at how cute that looks. See that? When you treat it as one. Although these papers are from one collection, so it's really hard to get it to jack it up, right? Because when I make a paper collection, everything coordinates, right? Everything has to coordinate. There's not all sorts of random things happening in a collection, okay? So now I want to, like this, maybe this one here. What did I do here? I can't remember. Oh, this is the belly band. Okay, that's the belly band. I think I'm going to do this in two ways. So this is a longer piece, but I think I'm going to put this one here. Yep, and that way I can put my closure right there. All right, so I found a place for that super cute little mushroom cluster. All right, so I'm going to cut that to size. And then I need a second paper to match that up. I'm going to come a little bit higher so my closure won't be in the way. You know, won't cover my mushrooms. All right, look at that, how cute that looks. All right, I'll worry about positioning everything later on. All right, so I got that. Now let me measure this little piece here. And I don't want you to forget that you also have a transparency sheet with this collection. So don't forget that because it's important. Like you can use one of the sentiments on the transparency sheet for that for here as well. All right. And these colors are pretty dark, so you have to really think about your transparency sheet before you move it along. All right, I have those mushrooms there, so I want to pick something that is that's going to complement it. That's not this. That's not that. So that's not that. All right, I'm going to move these out the way because these are special. I sewed on these. All right, so you can see that it'll take you a while to mat this. Don't think you're just going to be boom, 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 which you can be, but it may not be that way. Oh, look, this is cute. The tree, I think I'm going to use a fairy though, even though she's just her head, but I think it'll be cute. Let's cut it and let's see. I could be wrong. All right, let me cut it. I could be wrong. I want most of the fairy in there with the star, because if I can't have the star, it's no point. You could just hang it up if we can't have the star. Just forget it. And my star does not want to be in there. Well, I want the star, so I'm going to make sure the star is included. And then let me see what I get over here. I think I can still make this work, guys. I think I can. All right. I like it. I like it a lot. And my closure is going to be right here. So I think that's cute. I think that's really, really cute. All right. So I'm going to leave that there. And now I'm going to get another piece for here, which could possibly be, nope. So this one is, all these little pieces are goners. I throw those out as I go, so I won't have to deal with them. And I'm going to use this piece. I know I need 3 inches. So I'm going to use this for here. And then I'll layer my guys over here. And then over here, I'll use the same pattern, so it won't be so choppy. And I did that at 1 3/4 inches. And I need my corners to be rounded. All right, so that little guy is set. We are done with that one. Okay. So now, let me get all these bits. I don't throw all these bits away right away. All right, I just kind of let them hang out until I'm ready to throw them out. And put them all in a little pile. Everything gets a pile, guys. Everything gets a pile. Okay, that goes there. This goes here. I loved this cut, so I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to take either this paper. Let me measure this. And give myself a torn edge with my tearing ruler. So I'm going to cut this down to size, and then I'll tear it in just a minute, or just leave it like that so I can have a base to put a sentiment. One of the two. Even though if I tear it, I can still have a base to put a sentiment, but you know, it all depends. So this is a really great piece. So I'm going to hold on to it because I can put it somewhere else, but it doesn't work here because I don't want to cut it up. I want it to be a long piece. If I cut it up, it's just going to be too choppy. All right, so we've got some of these gold butterflies right here. And I think for next to this guy here, we got quite a bit going on here already. There, and there. So for this one, I think I want to bring in some more of the green. Oh, that little bunny, I cut his face off. Poor little bunny. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do green. Ooh, and I don't have a long enough piece of green. So I'm going to have to do 2 pieces. So let me measure that. I have blue here. And that will give, no, I don't want to do that. I could do this. How does that look? I hate it. I want to use some of this midnight in here. So I got to think about that. All right, let's focus putting the green here and see how I love it or I hate it. It's all about auditioning your papers, guys. You have to audition them. Sometimes you see something and you're like, oh, this is perfect, and it may be perfect. But then other times you're like, oh, let me, does this work? It doesn't work. So you have to audition. Just put it down, and even if you're on the fence about it, just let it hang out. Let it marinate there, guys. Okay? I could probably put this there and then a sentiment going across. And I like that, and I can use this bit here that I wasn't able to use before. I like that piece with the red, and so I'm going to let that hang out there for a minute. And I think this fairy's done. I think she's had her moment. My peacock tail, I don't know. I think they've had their moment too. And I think I'm in a good place to cut into a larger piece of paper. I'm in a good place. Nope. So just keep on auditioning until you think you did well. Oh, this is perfect right there. So let's measure that. So I've got something for there. I think I got to take a little bit off. Yep, just a hair. Let me cut a teeny bit off of that. Whoopsie. All right, so that looks good. So that's perfect there. This is perfect here. That's so far so good. And I think I'm going to do the butterflies here with 2 other pieces on the side. So let me cut that. I can't remember what all I used here. So 2 5/8 of an inch, I think is what I need. So we've got this here. Yep. And maybe I can put 2 other papers on the other side. I'm not sure. I love the green with this, with these butterflies here. And just to bring some more butterflies in, I can perhaps, do I have a big piece that I can put in here? Nope, that's not wide enough. I don't want to make this night time. Too wide. I can cut that, but it's not deep enough. Here, I just need to see if it's deep enough. This one is deep enough, and this one is not deep enough. So I'm going to cut this one down. Let me get a measurement. Oh, I can't wait to tone down that blue, because it is not pretty, guys. Not pretty. All right, so I think I'm going to do this green back here. And I've got to just cut a teeny bit off because I need a border. Okay. All right, that's pretty good. All right, I like that. Not everything has to be covered in paper. All right, these could be photo mats if you want them to be. It's entirely up to you. And I may leave this one as a photo mat. I may leave one or two on each section. I'm not sure. All right, so I'm just going to keep on going here. And I will be back with a final review. Oh, this looks good here. It all depends what I'm going to put here. But I like that. I like that a lot. Ooh, we can probably put this here. And that looks good. And then I can probably bring that up here also. I have two pieces that will not work there. All right, so it's looking like I'm going to have to start cutting into a larger piece of paper because I've used what I want to use with my scraps. And I'm pretty happy with this. I am. Oh, this is actually, I don't like this no more. I changed my mind. This is actually this is a closure here. Okay, so this gets this and this. And now that I think about it, so this still works because we can see everything around it. And I'm pretty happy about that. So what you're going to do is you're going to attach your closure to your pattern paper. Okay? So attach it to your pattern paper before you stick your pattern paper down. And this is the play on the stack pocket. This one gets a closure. What we're using for here, while I have you all with me, and this is in your Essentials bundle. Hopefully you all picked up your Essentials bundle. Hang on, let me see if I can find it right now. Yeah, it's here. We're using these. So this is your Essentials SVG bundle. We're using these, and just like the button, you're going to glue two of them together, and I'm going to do that now so it can dry. All right, and these are cut at 1 1¼ inches. I cut these at. Okay, so you can find these. Whoopsie, you can find these in your Essentials, your Essentials SVG bundle, and I'll make sure you're linked down below if you didn't pick yours up yet. You can even do 3, but I really think that 2 is more than enough. Let me see 3. I've never done 3. Let's see what that's like. I'll tell you if it's too much. Actually, I do like 3 too. 2 or 3 is just fine. Whichever one you like best. It's not too much at all. Okay? So these are super great. You can cut them at any size. All right? So in your Essentials SVG bundle, you can find these. Okay? And there's, I mean, you can find all of this, guys. There's a ton of things in there. That's why it's called Essentials, because it's essential. Like, for instance, you've got the little, where'd it go? I lost it. Oh, this here. I'm going to use this too. All right, to make a clipboard. You've got all these little bits and pieces. Right, remember your little papers. So we can do that. We've got little postage stamps. I'm going to show you how to make a faux postage. Really cute. So all sorts of things, guys, that we're going to use to decorate our book with, our project with. So if you don't have the Essentials bundle, you're missing out. Wait till I show you the postage stamps. Those are going to be so freaking cute. There's a lot coming, guys. A lot. So I'm looking forward to it. Be prepared. Get all your things downloaded into your project folders, and it'll make your life so much easier. All right. I'll be back. So this is what it's looking like. I think it's looking pretty amazing. So I did a little bit of embellishing, and there will be a little bit more like on these pieces that are layered with paper and some sewing. I did some layering here and I sewed it. I did some layering here. Let's see, 1, 2 layers, and I sewed them. I did a zigzag stitch. I did some cheesecloth underneath, and then I attached, well, this one is not fully attached. It's just the cheesecloth is glued. This I'm going to glue down. This one is completely glued down. Here I did some layering. I did another strip here and I sewed. I did zigzag sewing all the way around. Here it just added some pieces, which I think makes it interesting. All of the layers just look so cute. And this has a little bit of an insertion point. So the reason for this video is I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to demo this because I talk about it, but I haven't demoed it. So I'm going to demo that now. And I'm going to make a hole in my pattern paper. And you want it in the middle. Let me use a ruler because I swear I can get the middle, and I don't get the middle. I suck at getting the middle. All right, so see, that is nowhere near it right here. So here is my middle, and I'm coming all the way down here. All right, I'm going to put a hole here, mark here, and a mark here, and I'm going to get a mark here as well. All right, so let me punch. Start punching, 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 making holes. All right, there we go. Oopsie. There we go. All right, so I'm going to make a hole. I'm just absolutely in love with the way this is turning out. And, oopsie. So my hole should be right around there. Actually, right around where this one is. Okay, so I've got that. And I got this one. You can punch 2 at a time. I like to punch 1 at a time because sometimes when it's too thick, then you bend your piece. I don't want to bend my piece. So that's why I just punch 1 at a time. Oh, pencil. Runaway pencil. Hopefully I won't need my pencil. So now we're going to attach these, and we need an eyelet, 2 eyelets. And it's just so much easier to do it this way, guys, than dealing with the putting it all the way through the piece. I know it's nice to do that, but I promise you this works just as well. Promise, promise, promise. And you don't have to be tortured. And this is because the type of closure it is an easy closure. If this was something that we were pulling on or tugging, whatever the case may be, I would not be doing this. I would absolutely be trying to put it through all the layers. But this is a simple closure that's not going to get a lot of action. You know, you're just wrapping it around and that's it. No biggie. So now you're going to set it here, okay? This is where you're going to set it. Okay. Right here. So this is like when I make a patch, except we're not making a patch. We're putting it onto the mat. So you want to flatten that out all the way. Sorry for the banging, but it must be done. I'm sure all the little puppies will start barking. All of you with puppies, my bad. And you can also tie your string now that you're here, that it's not attached. Right, so let's get our string. I'm using this 2mm off-white cotton twine. I guess it's twine, I don't know. So I'm going to tie this. So I make a tie. I don't make a knot, I just make a tie. But you can make a knot if you want. Nice and tight, and that's going to lift your little circle, which is nice. And now you can cut that off. Cut the tail off. Alrighty. And now you have for the other side. So now let's attach this. So I did a tiered piece right down the middle just to anchor the circle. I think it looks really good. And now add your glue, and you can see that zigzag stitching on the other side perfectly. See how much easier that was than having to wrestle with the flipping your page around and wrestling with the setter. Eesh, it makes me nuts. Now I guess this can go anyway. I can't tell now. Oh, there it is. Oh shoot, I put it. Darn it. That's okay. It's all right. All right, so I got fancy, guys. We did some stitching. We did some layering. All sorts of fun things here, okay? And I also want to show you this one, which is why it's not done. Here's the stitching on this one. Look at how super cute that bunny is. I did not ink, so let's ink that up while this dries. And when it dries, then you close it. Don't start stretching and closing when things are not dry yet, okay? Just let it dry. Notice how I'm not even messing with it until it completely dries. All right, so this is for the belly band. Oh, I never trimmed around that one. Okay. All right, and now this one. Just lovely. These are already glued on. The insides will be for photographs. We'll do our inking. All right, so here, I haven't decided what I'm going to do here, which is why it's still not attached. Let me get a paper clip. And I'm probably just going to leave it just exactly the way you see it. Not everything needs to have something. But I love the paper, so I don't want to mess it up. All right. What am I doing? Oh, over here. So we're closing our glue. We're closing our ink. So you're going to cut make this angle cut mat. You're going to cut your paper just like if you were matting, okay? Cut your mat. Now you're going to place it on the inside of the pocket, pattern side up. Line it up with the very edge of the page, okay? Very edge of the page. Make sure it's centered as if you were matting, right? When you're matting, you center it. You have 1/8 of an inch all the way around, right? So that's what you want to look for. And then you want it to be on the edge of the page at the top. Don't push it all the way in. You want it flush with the edge. That's so, so important. Good thing I have a backup pencil. Now you're going to take your pencil and you're going to make a pencil line. You're cutting right on the pencil line, so you're not going to see it, so no worries. And the reason why I want you to put it in pattern side up. Oh, shoot. I hate when I do that. Pattern side up is because if you flip it over and you didn't center this exactly, when you flip it back over and put it on, not going to be good, guys. It's not going to be centered. It will be misaligned, if that's even a word. I don't even know if that's a word. All right, so don't do it, people. All right, so let's cut. And where is my... Oh, not good. Not good. I'm losing track of all my goodies. I only keep 2 knives here just to torture myself. 2 knives and this crappy one to torture myself so I can put my things back. But I lost control. I don't know. I lost both knives. They're somewhere on this desk. I punish myself, guys. I only give myself 2 knives because if I have 10 here, I will have 10 all over the desk. All right, so there's our mat. beautiful mat. You'll see that it will be beautiful and perfectly sized. Okay, and let me just show you how perfect that is once I put this one in there, babes. Come on, get in there. So that one will go like that, and then look at your mat, guys. Get off. Oh, is there glue on the corner there? Look at that mat, how perfect it is. All right, so now you know how to do it. Don't be afraid of angles because of the matting. It can be done. It's very simple, and I walk you through it, okay? So have at it with the angles. I was going to say with the ankles. I don't know how I keep it together, guys. I don't know. Don't know. All right, here we go. Get that glue on there. Oh, and this is it, my friends. So let's let this all dry and we shall continue. All right, so I'm all done matting. Very excited to share this with you guys. So I've done a few things here. Let me put it this way so you can see how beautiful. So we went over this already. I'm not going to go over this again. I believe we went over this. Yes, we did. And we did this here. I think I did this, but let me just open it again. All right. So we've got our tag closure here. This is for photos. And remember, we've got that belly band behind here. Then, so I'm treating this a little bit differently. Okay. You can open it up the way we initially discussed. Right. And I love that you can put things behind the way we initially discussed it. Right. I'm going to make sure I'm not bending anything. Where we open it up completely, right? Like so. But I think because I'm putting this in an album cover and not necessarily a folio, and that could change, all right? So I'm thinking that it would be, until we put the things in the pockets, our flaps are very in danger, right? So we have to be very careful. So we can do this a couple of ways. All right. We can do our regular close like so, right? Which was like this. But what I thought would be cool would be careful again. And what I mean by until we put things in our pockets, like for instance, this will keep these closed. Something in here will keep that closed, and then whatever we put in here will keep that closed, so we don't have to worry about anything flipping and flapping. But until I don't do that, you know, it's going to flip and flap, right? So what I was thinking is we do this. All right, we just accordion. So we go in, there's the three panels. So we go in and like that. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. That way we open it like a book, right? Like that. And then you go back and that's it, right? You don't miss anything. The reason for that is if we leave it like this, I feel like the back of everything is always going to get beat up. So it's entirely up to you. But just consider it. I really like the idea of this. And again, all of this will have closures. So I love the idea of that. And then I did these fun collage pockets. Okay, so everything is a pocket. You'll be able to slip the collage frame out. Okay, and put your photos on there and slip it back in. That'll be a printable. And this is an SVG file. Okay, so if you don't have a cutting machine, like a Cricut, a Silhouette, whatever. I can't think of them all right now. You can cut these by hand, and there's a diagram for cutting them by hand, okay? It's easier to follow the diagram than for me to be flipping the paper all the way around and then you trying to follow me, right? So, but if you have a cutting machine, there will be an SVG file in your project folder for this one, for this one. And for this one, look how fabulous this one is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pictures here. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 pictures in just these three areas. Then I know I said we were going to do a pop-up here, but we can't. We don't have room. Then I did this double slot here. So I thought it would be cool to, well, I need something that actually fits through there, right? I thought it would be cool to fit something all the way across, right? Like that. So I thought that would be cool with a double slot, and just instead of having the one slot. So I did that here and I did that here. And again, I did this with my slot punch. Okay. So that's that. And then here I used a different slot. This is the slot punch you use for name tags. Okay. And it gives you a nice little slot. However, it's a narrow one, and I did that here for top loading. And next we'll do inserts. So top loading, you can still see the pretty paper. And then I did another one, side loading. All right, and this one doesn't fit in there, but you guys get the idea. I did a side loading for here. It doesn't have to be super long. You know, it doesn't have to go all the way to the end. It can go just like that. Okay, now what it cannot do is stick out. All right, it cannot stick out. So I think this is really cute. And I'm going to do a flap style piece, so you'll be able to take the flap and pull it out. All right, so that would be perfect. Like for instance, this would be something like this. And when you pull it out, you have that. Okay, so yeah, that's it. We're pretty much done with the matting. I hope you love it. I can't wait to add all the goodies. I'm going to tell you right now, I got to be easy with the goodies because I am quite packed already. Okay, quite packed. We still have to do something for here, but I'm not sure yet because I want to make sure that whatever I do here looks good with the inside cover pocket. So I leave that for last. All right. So it's pretty packed. I've got to tell you, it would be, if you want to load this up like all sorts of three-dimensional things, you would need to increase your gusset. But it's such a good size like this, you really want to refrain from that. When things are too big and too bulky, they're no more fun. If you increase this gusset, I know that's what you guys may think, then this whole thing becomes much longer, and then it's no longer manageable. All right, so if you increase this gusset, that means you have to increase this gusset and all the gussets. And then that's when things become unmanageable. So what you have to refrain on is what you put in the pockets. You can put one thing in every pocket. Like for instance, you just can't put an accordion style piece in every single pocket. All right. And you'll see what I put in the pockets. The pockets are for photo mats. Everything else is just for pretties. Okay. Oh, I knew I wanted to do something here. If you didn't want to do this, you can do something similar to this. All right. But I wouldn't do a frame like I did, which is why I didn't do a frame for here, guys. You would just do the photo mats. Where are my photo mats? And you would just pick your sizes. I think I put them in here. Yeah, you would do your photo mats here and arrange them. Pick your sizes, right? And then do your inking, all right? So that you have a built-in frame right onto the page just to avoid the bulk. All right, so this is a semi-final review. We're going to do another final review with once everything is done, once all the mats and all the goodies are inside. But seriously, just so beautiful. And then we'll work on our album cover, and we'll add whatever final closures we need to add, and that's it. It turned out really beautiful. So I just wanted to focus on this piece right here because that's what you guys did not see. Oh, wait, keep on forgetting this. I don't know why I keep on forgetting this here. So that opens up like so. Okay, I can't wait to decorate this. We've got a pocket here. I also, I changed the green. I used peeled paint. I'm lying. I used forest moss. Forest moss. So I went over it with the forest moss. I actually, and someone left me a comment about this, so great minds think alike. I actually took the green, the green that I used, the mowed lawn, and I put it on a little swatch and I wet it because oxide inks react to water. But I didn't like the look. It was kind of muddy with that green. I didn't love it. So I just went ahead and slapped another color on there that went really, really well. So the forest moss works the best with this collection. And next time I'm going to be super careful before picking my ink colors and committing to something like this. So then I did some washi tape. I love this washi tape. It's it's a transparent washi tape with a gold dot. I love polka dots. Polka dots and stripes are my thing, guys. Love. So I went around this area here with the washi tape, and I got this on Amazon. I'm an Amazon junkie. I'm sure many of you can relate. I also did a little slot here so we can put like a slimline card in there of some sort. Well, a very slim card, just for some fun photos and perhaps journaling. And then for our closure here, I don't know if you can see, but there's a piece of acetate. This acetate piece, you can make it as long as this little dip here, or short. It's just for your closure. Okay, so it's going to keep whatever you put in here will keep this nice and tidy and closed. Okay, so I did mine at 3.5 inches by 1 inch. Actually 4.5 inches by 1 inch, and I scored at a 1/2 inch on each side. Then I made a slit into my paper at 1 inch, and those the flaps are behind this pattern paper. And forgive me for not recording that. I just was in my zone. Okay, so in the next video, no, I'm sorry, not in the next. Yeah, in the next video, it'll be a final review with all of our fun inserts and stuff in here. But right now, look at this. This is for photos. All right, you can do your inking around here if you want, and I will be doing that. Okay, so we did that. One more video, guys, and that's it. This is a wrap. All right, pretty much. After that one video, that will cover the cover and all of the inserts. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you love what you see on this channel. I truly, truly appreciate it. It helps me out a lot.